Hey, so today's video is like part two of how to buy bank-owned properties on an auction website. And one of the auction websites that I go to often is Xome.com, spelled Xome, or auction.com. And auction.com is one of the bigger platforms. I am a listing REO agent, and my company gets the properties, and these are properties that list on Xome. And if you didn't know, Xome is owned by NationStar, so they are also a very big mortgage servicing company. I'm trying to do a quick video so maybe you guys can follow, and if you see me looking, I'm looking on my screen so I can make sure I answer all the questions. So start off by going to xome.com, and you want to register yourself. These days you don't need a deposit anymore, so I think when you're filling it out, they ask for proof of funds, and if you're using an LLC to make the purchase, they're going to ask for your LLC information. Okay, I can't remember if they verified me by a driver license or not, but once you do this, your information is in the system. And then when you go to save or register to bid, your information is in there. So I was able to speak to the auctioneer of this, and there's no other YouTube videos that I saw how to bid, so I'm gonna do this because I know the other end of what to do as an REO listing agent that has a property on Xome, so I can get in. So this is why this is a little niche that I have. Plus, I'm with experience, so I can speak from doing this myself because I just closed escrow on a Xome property that I purchased in Warren, Michigan. And why these are good is because you're actually able to buy it 50 to 60 cents on the dollar, and I only buy properties that are still in relatively good condition and from previous sales. So the one I bought in Warren, Michigan, the previous owner bought it in April of 2022, and it already got foreclosed on March 2023. And I was able to view pictures from the previous listing, so it wasn't that bad, but there were no utilities or anything on it, and I had to still get my partner, who is also a realtor, out there to go in and look at the property. But sorry, I'm going to ramble on. Going back to before you make any bids, you need to do your research on the property. Okay, so you can go out and look at it, and there's different types of properties that are put on these platforms. Again, they're platforms. There's pre-foreclosures, there's short sales, there's bank-owned properties. So the pre-foreclosures are actually the ones that are trustee sales. Okay, it hadn't been foreclosed yet, but it does go on there. But those ones, you actually have to show up to a particular location, and they would tell you where it is to go and bid. However, those are the ones that require cashier's check for the exact amount, so you don't want to look at those. So you will look at either bank-owned properties or on Xome. I'm going to specifically go into Xome because I know this the best. They have what's called second chance foreclosures. Okay, and so far all of these are for cash only, and these are HUD homes, if that makes sense. They're FHA, VA, USDA, anything backed by HUD, and they want cash. So these cash properties have no listing agent. Okay, you're just dealing with Xome platform. And the ones that have listing agents on them, you as a buyer will have to pay a buyer's premium, maybe 3%, 5%. And what that means is, if let's say you won the bid for $100,000, and there's a 5% premium, and they will show you on there, but all you gotta do is 100,000 times 5%, the total cost to you is $105,000 to purchase the property. So you have to keep this in mind, because when you do your ARV, it costs you money. Okay, so that's one. And do your inspections, bring contractors, whatever. And the reason I bring this up is that you can't do that after you win the bid and you sign the contract and you say, hey, I want to go inspect the property. It doesn't work that way, because you will get blacklisted by them. Okay, they give you like a one mulligan and that's it. So you be careful. I found that out. I got my one mulligan. I didn't know, but like I said, even I have to figure out how things are done. So when you go on the websites, you'll see they have different auctions, and it's getting busier and busier because now, there's a lot of foreclosures. And what I did find out was that people who took advantage of the COVID forbearance didn't pay. Now there's no more moratorium, and they're trying to do a loan mod, and they don't qualify for the new higher interest rate, so they're getting foreclosed on. That's why you're seeing a lot in the smaller price ranges. And so anyways, these auctions are usually, they start on a Saturday and they'll end on a Tuesday. And if there's no winning bid, or for whatever reason, every week it goes through like that. Okay, so these auctions can be multiple times. Okay, and again, the seller is another investor, a bank, whatever, and sometimes they want to sell it for a really high price. So over time, after a lot of auctions are done, they'll lower the price. Okay, so here's something else that I didn't know until after I made a few bids, but you can always call them and ask to speak to the auctioneer. He could tell you what the reserve price is, so you don't go in there and bid blindly. Okay, so when I was bidding, I didn't realize this, but someone had told me that, hey, they're bidding against you, and then the auctioneer told me directly. I'll use an example. There was a property I wanted to bid on. I spoke to the listing broker, and he told me that this was the fourth auction, and the last one, the ending bid was $84,000, and the seller didn't take it. And I said, interesting. But after I did all my numbers, I didn't want to bid anymore because I had to pay like another $3,000. So I didn't want to be there. So I ended up bidding up to $79,000. That was it. I bid, and then I saw someone else bid higher than me. So I said, oh, well, I'm not going to get this property. So that was it. It ended. And then the next thing I know, I got an email saying, you're the winning bid. And then the next day, I got a phone call because I wanted to ask the auctioneer a few questions. So he called me, and he divulged to me that he bid the next increment to see if I would go up, and I didn't go up. So then, therefore, I won the bid. So just so you know, that's what they do over there. They bid and bring you up. So, so I thought, okay, and so the next thing I knew, I won that bid, and then they sent me, I had to check out and stuff like that, and the seller accepted my bid at $79,000, and the last auction, it was at $84,000 winning bid, and the seller didn't take it. So basically, the auctioneer brought it back to the seller and said, hey, no one's buying at your high price, so accept it. So they accepted it. This property was a 3-bedroom, 1-bath in Bryan, Ohio. So basically, I won after paying the buyer's premium. It's just a little bit shy of $83,000. But the ARV on this is $140,000. In a quiet neighborhood, factory workers, blue collars, because for me, I like these under $100,000, or even I'm sticking to $80,000 because the rent on this, I'm going fair market value of $1,300. I'm going to do Section 8. And maybe in another video, I explain why I go Section 8. But, there's still cash flow in these. So, okay, I only got so much time to speak, so I'm just going to go follow. So you got to do your inspections, call the auctioneer. They will tell you what the reserve bid is, so that you're not kind of like just trying to bid. Don't think that you win low. If you didn't meet your reserve, they're not going to take it. So you might as well find out what it is right from the get-go, and then do your numbers, and then you'll know. And if you're buying a property that has a listing agent, when you win the bid and you go in to fill out the summary, the checkout, put the listing agent's name in there, because that will incentivize them to, now they're working for you, they're going to go and open doors or do whatever is needed because you're not in the area, right? So they'll be working for you. And I'm going to tell you, they make, if the listing is vacant, they make 1.75% commission as a listing agent, and then they get 1% on the selling agent side. So help them make some money, and then they'll be working for you as well. The second chance auctions have no buyer's premium, okay? There's no listing agent. When you are asking to go in to view the property, they will ask you, if you're working a real estate agent, provide their name, phone number, and email. And what they will do is they will send the code to that agent, who can then go in and view the property for you. Now, actually, you do this prior to bidding, so you can take pictures and stuff like that of the property before you make the bid, because you want to know what kind of repairs are needed, okay? And these these second chance deals are HUD properties. When you pull a property profile, it will show you when the property got foreclosed on and what the sheriff's deed amount is. And that usually, so far I've seen on all the ones I've researched, that is the reserve price that they have to meet. And this is also from someone telling me at Xome, that's the amount. Okay, so that's your reserve amount. I was trying to think, what else was it? So yeah, you need to do that. And if these homes, the second chance homes, don't sell on Xome, they actually go back to the HUDhomestore.com, because these are all HUD insured properties, okay? But I think you should buy it on Xome first, because then when it goes to HUD Home Store, they have like a 30-day wait period again for homeowners only, and then it gets to investor. I don't know, it just takes much longer. So let's see, what else? Okay, so some of these deals are financeable. So the one I bought in Ohio, it says right on there, financeable, so you can go get a loan. It all depends on the condition of the property, okay? Just like anything else. Some are financeable, some are not. So they'll give you a longer window to close escrow, about 45 days. Let me see here. So you check out, and then you sign your contracts. Here's something they don't tell you. On the second chance auctions that you win, always choose your own escrow company, because you have to pay for the seller's escrow anyways, okay? So pick your own. But when you're buying the property, or you win the property that has a buyer's premium, just know that if you select the seller's choice, then they split and will cover seller's amount and you cover yours. But if you pick your own escrow company, then you need to pay the seller's side, okay? Just, that's important. They do tell you that. So, that's for now pretty much in a nutshell. I mean, I'm going to have another video probably to explain the escrow process itself, but these are kind of important. Oh, sorry. And well, never mind. That'll be another day for how to close escrow. When you're buying this, you can buy it in your LLC. You upload all that information up front, okay? And you have to wire the funds from the name of how you're buying it in, right? So if you're buying it in an LLC, you have to wire funds from that LLC into escrow. Okay, they don't let you put, you could do your deposit from another account, but the full amount for cash for the second chance auctions must come from the name that you're purchasing the property from. Okay, so that's in a nutshell. So auction.com almost works similarly, so I signed up for that. I just haven't bought anything from them yet, but just call, talk to people at the companies. They're very friendly and they'll help you out. But if you want to try this for the first time, I'm open to helping you with it, because like I said, I'm a REO listing agent for properties that get put on to Xome, and I'm buying properties on Xome myself. Okay, and it's not very hard, but right now I don't have to deal with sellers. These properties normally do come to you free and clear. Depending on what state you're buying it in, there's a redemption period. So you got to follow the foreclosure laws in that state, okay? But what they do tell me is most people never come back and try to pay the full amount to get their property. However, you cannot close escrow without that redemption period being over. So what I mean by that is the property I bought in Warren, Michigan, or Michigan has a 6-month redemption period. So I got into escrow, I think, on August 22nd, and September 24th would have been the 6 months redemption period. I didn't close, and they were like behind 6 days, and long story short, I had to extend my contract. And then finally the seller was able, the title company does a date down, make sure there's no other liens that pop up. But again, you will get, most of the time, the property is free and clear. The only time, sometimes it's the municipalities, like in Las Vegas or Nevada, the garbage, even though the home is foreclosed, it keeps going on, and so even when the bank starts to own that property, they still have to pay for the garbage. And I've had deals where literally 10 years of garbage lien is still on the property, so the bank does pay for it, okay, but pretty much it does wipe out every other lien. So you are buying a property free and clear, okay? So that's probably like the good thing versus buying, seller financing, Sat-Tues and stuff like that. So that's kind of good. And these properties, like I said, they're out there. I'm buying under $80,000. Majority of these properties are single family. You can select and do a drop down menu, save it, and they will keep sending you, your searches. They even call you and let you know, hey, would you like to be put in our email or whatever, the next bunch of properties we have. You'd be so surprised. There's so many properties out there. Some are on auction and they don't even show up on the MLS. Okay, so I did a search that way because I thought, okay, in Las Vegas they should show up, but they don't. So you have second chance properties that have no listing agent, and they will show up on Xome in the area you want to be in. Okay, so try these out, and if you have any questions, reach out to me. I can help you walk through this to buy, but it's a great opportunity, and they're coming back, and I can help you with pulling property profiles and just telling you how to buy it. So anyways, I hope this helps you guys. If you'd like to talk to me, I'll put a link on this to make an appointment with me on my Calendly, and then we can go over it. But hopefully this answers some of your questions, okay? Other videos I have will be about Section 8, and I'll make another video about the escrow process with bank-owned properties. All right, have a good night. Bye-bye.